This is the IST Health Tip of the Day. I'm your host, Roberto Parker. This podcast, we tackle the tough questions related to exercise, training for athletes, human performance, biochemical, biomechanical dysfunctions, problems that sometimes you have questions about that you don't quite know the answer to. So stay tuned, enjoy, take good notes, and God bless. What's up, guys? Roberto here. I'm going to go into more detail on sleep quality today. Now, during a lot of my podcasts with Chris Whiting, which I do every Monday, called the Health Detective Podcast, and when I do my own IST Health Tip of the Day, I talk a lot about SMEC, sleep, mood, energy, cravings, and hunger. Let's focus on sleep today. We as a nation, in fact, pretty much all industrialized nations are sleep deprived. Now, why is that? Because we're stressed out chasing the dollar bill for one thing, because stress can cause sleep quality to deteriorate. Electronic devices like cell phones, computers, big screen TVs, we spend so much time in front of blue light, which affects our pineal gland. Sometimes we're working two or three, four jobs. We're working odd hours. That affects your circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm is also closely tied into the health of your intestinal lining, your microbiome. So it's important that you get the right type of foods and don't overstress yourself because that can affect bacteria in the gut, which communicates a lot with the brain of the body, where the pineal gland is located, by the way, which produces melatonin. Melatonin is your sleep hormone. Now, I wrote down a few things here regarding circadian rhythm I want to share with you. Now, think of this circadian rhythm as like the mainframe of a computer, and all these different smaller computers are tied into it. Well, the circadian rhythm is your mainframe, and these other smaller units have their own way of turning on and off. But the mainframe is the big daddy. If the switch gets flipped on that, it's going to shut everything off. But while the mainframe is still running, each little organ of the body is cycling through its own process of turning on and turning off different times of the day. Kidneys, gallbladder, lungs, etc. So those are different organs of the body. Pancreas. Now, these specific organs, if they're not in the right environment, if they're stressed, will shut down when they shouldn't shut down and turn on when they shouldn't turn on. That's what can affect your sleep cycle. Cortisol, adrenaline. During the evening time, cortisol levels are very, very, very low. And that's the way that it should be. During the evening time, also, after about 7 o'clock in the evening, melatonin starts to produce. Melatonin, once again, is your sleep hormone. That becomes elevated. That is leading up to having a good night's rest. When you wake up in the morning, cortisol level starts to elevate. That is what gets you out of bed so you can go out and make a good living or do what you need to do during the day when the sun is up. So those two hormones are closely related to sunrise and sunfall, or sundown, I should say. Your pineal gland produces melatonin. The adrenals produces cortisol, and they work opposite of each other. Now, there's certain times of the day where your body is going to be a more alert, not as alert, produce melatonin, produce cortisol. Reaction time is going to be improved. Your reaction time is going to be less. You have more energy. I'm just going to go through a list of things here, starting with 2 a.m. in the morning. That's when your REM, which is your rapid eye movement, is at its best. That is when you're in your deepest sleep pattern. At 6:30 a.m. is where you have the sharpest rise in blood pressure. Interesting. 7:30 a.m. is when melatonin levels drop precipitously. That's your sleep hormone. 10:30 a.m. your alertness levels are at its highest peak of the day. Very interesting there. Okay, now getting into the afternoon here. 2:30 p.m. is when you have your best physical coordination. And that's important if you're working in a job or maybe you're an athlete in which coordination is important. At 4:30 in the morning, at 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon, that is when you have your fastest reaction time. Once again, related to something you're doing physical. If you're an athlete, maybe working a job with heavy machinery, maybe you're a police officer or a firefighter, that's important to know. Okay, at 5 p.m., that's when you have the greatest amount of cardiovascular and physical muscular strength. At 7 p.m. is when your body temperature is at its highest of the day. Now, the last one here I wrote down, 9 p.m. is when melatonin starts to increase significantly for the evening time. So, in other words, your body's now preparing to go to bed. Now, you can see these things that is listed here track with the sun down and sun up. Now, here's the thing. What if you say, well, Roberto, I have to work a graveyard shift? Your body will adapt. Obviously, it does because we don't have people just dropping dead from working graveyard shifts. In fact, I did it once when I was in college myself. But that adaptation is not necessarily the best adaptation. They found in research that people who work odd hours like that during the evening when the sun goes down on a regular basis have the most complications with physical illnesses, diseases, and symptoms. Their bodies will still adapt. You can adapt your body to do anything. I've said this before. If somebody cuts your arm off, it's going to be an inconvenience for you. But you will adapt eventually. You will learn how to manage through life just through some adaptive measures. So you will manage, but it's not necessarily the best adaptation. That's my point here. So what I'm saying here, guys, is it's all relative to your environment. That's important. You have to get good quality sleep, put the right kind of food in your gut to feed that good microbiome because that also will help improve your sleep quality. During the evening is when your cells are turning over. Your body's making growth hormone. There's so many things that are happening while you sleep. So many things. Let me give you another example. I know people who love to work out, who train hard, go to the gym, they'll work out hard every day. But they may only sleep about 3 to 4 hours, maybe 5 hours a night. My question to you is this: is that person getting the optimal results that they should be getting from training? And the answer typically will be no. Why? Because they're not getting enough sleep. Because during the night is when your body is turning itself over. Your body is making growth hormone. Your body is repairing cells. That's when growth is taking place. If you're not getting that turnover like you should, and you're still going to the gym every day, or let's say you're working 2 or 3 jobs, you're taking one step forward and one step back, and maybe 2 or 3 steps back because you're not getting the full development that you should from a cellular level and from a neurological level, because even at night, the brain cells are turning over in your brain. So neurologically speaking, you're not getting the proper adaptation that you should or the proper recovery that you should. That is why sleep is so important. So guys, take heed here. Get good quality sleep. If you have to cut back your workout program a little bit to sleep better, then do it. And by the way, getting back to working out, one more thing. I don't recommend training or working out late in the evening because what happens when you work out? Your cortisol levels go up. Your adrenaline levels go up, which will cut into melatonin production because now your body thinks it's still daytime. If you're on a lot of high spectrum lights in your house at night, that's going to drastically affect melatonin levels. So consider those things, please. If you have any questions, guys, give me a call. That's what I do for my living.
I help people develop better lifestyles through their health and fitness and training and nutritionally. So give me a call, 816-405-7703. Email us rwpsports at yahoo.com. Hey guys, thanks for watching. This has been another IST Health Tip of the Day. Take care and God bless. Bye bye.